First Contact Deception. Supreme Commander Nixis watched the holographic display of the blue-green planet with 6 eyes, each modified to perceive a different spectrum of electromagnetic radiation. Her crystalline exoskeleton refracted the soft light of the bridge, creating dancing patterns on the walls of the Meridian Empire's flagship, Eternal Dusk. According to their intelligence, this world called Earth still relied on primitive fusion reactors and chemical rockets, the perfect target for expansion. Status report, she commanded, her telepathic signal crisp and formal. First Observer Kelvin's neural tendrils pulsed with information as he responded. Our stealth systems are functioning at optimal efficiency, Supreme Commander. The humans remain unaware of our presence. Their orbital detection systems are rudimentary at best. They still use radio waves and primitive optical telescopes. Nixis felt a wave of satisfaction. After subjugating over 500 civilizations across 3 galactic arms, the Meridian Empire had perfected the art of conquest. Their standard protocol involved months of surveillance before striking, though this barely qualified as a challenge. Earth's most advanced weapons were nuclear devices that wouldn't even scratch their ship's quantum shields. Their military communications suggest they're still fighting among themselves over resources, Second Observer Mira added, her bioluminescent patterns flickering with amusement. They haven't even unified their planet under a single government. Nixis expanded her consciousness to interface directly with the ship's quantum core, reviewing the collected data herself. The humans were fascinating in their primitive state, still burning fossil fuels, their atmosphere thick with carbon emissions. Their space stations were crude assemblies of metal and glass, their satellites nothing more than simple communication relays and observation platforms. Have they detected any of our probe signals? Nixis asked, though she already knew the answer. Their technology was centuries beyond human capability. Negative. Supreme Commander. Kelvin's response cut off abruptly as his neural tendrils flashed red with alarm. Supreme Commander, I'm detecting an anomaly in the quantum background radiation. Before Nixis could process this information, the ship's eye spoke, its crystalline voice resonating through the bridge. Warning. Unknown energy signature detected. Pattern does not match any known civilization's technological baseline. Nix's exoskeleton bristled. Something was wrong. The humans shouldn't have the capability to. The holographic display exploded with new information as thousands of quantum signatures suddenly emerged from what appeared to be empty space around Earth. The signatures were unlike anything in the Meridian database, operating on principles that defied their understanding of physics. Impossible. Mira's bioluminescence turned pale with shock. These readings, they're manipulating dimensional boundaries on a scale we've never seen. The truth hit Nixis with devastating clarity. They hadn't been watching Earth. Earth had been watching them. Every primitive satellite, every crude space station, every seemingly inefficient rocket launch had been part of an elaborate deception. The humans hadn't revealed their true technological level to the galaxy because they were waiting, preparing, testing any potential threats. A transmission cut through their quantum communications network, bypassing encryption that had never been broken in 10,000 years of Meridian history. The holographic figure that appeared on the bridge was human, wearing what appeared to be a simple military uniform. Her dark skin contrasted with silver-white hair, and her eyes held wisdom that sent chills through Nixis's neural network. This is Admiral Helena Chen of the Earth Defense Force. The figure spoke, her voice translated perfectly into Meridian thought patterns. We've been aware of your surveillance for the past 6 months. Your empire's reputation precedes you. We've intercepted enough of your communications to know what follows these observation periods. Nixis tried to respond, but found their quantum communications grid had been completely locked down by forces she couldn't comprehend. For centuries, humanity has maintained the appearance of technological infancy, Admiral Chen continued. We learned long ago that the galaxy is full of predatory civilizations, better to be underestimated than marked as a threat. You see our fossil fuels, our primitive rockets, our political divisions, all carefully maintained artifacts of a masquerade we've performed for generations. The holographic displays showed more objects emerging from dimensional pockets around Earth, massive structures that dwarfed the Meridian Fleet. They seemed to bend reality around them, their very presence distorting space-time. "This is your only warning." Admiral Chen's expression remained calm, but her words carried the weight of absolute authority. "The Earth Defense Force is giving you 6 hours to retreat beyond the Kuiper Belt. Any hostile action will be met with immediate response. We've already disabled your quantum core's offensive capabilities. Yes, we can do that. Return to your empire with this message. Earth is not a target. Earth is not prey. Earth is off-limits." As the transmission ended, Nixis realized with growing horror that humanity hadn't just surpassed Meridian technology. They had rendered it obsolete. Every advancement her civilization had made in quantum mechanics, dimensional physics, and faster-than-light travel was like stone tools compared to what Earth had achieved in secret. The galaxy's greatest predator had just discovered it was actually prey, and the simple truth terrified her more than any weapon. Humanity hadn't emerged onto the galactic stage not because they couldn't, but because they chose not to. And now she understood why. The spider's web. Deep within Cheyenne Mountain, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Admiral Helena Chen stood before a holographic representation of the solar system. Countless threads of blue light showed the web of dimensional sensors that humanity had woven through space over the past century. A detection network so advanced it could track a coffee cup passing through slip space at 1,000 light-years distance. "Status of the Meridian Fleet?" she asked, her augmented neural interface processing tactical data faster than any organic brain could manage. Dr. Marcus Zhang, Earth Defense Force's Chief of Scientific Operations, gestured at the display. His dark eyes reflected the holographic light as the image zoomed in on the alien vessels. They're maintaining position just beyond Mars' orbit. Their quantum cores are still active, but running in diagnostic cycles. They're trying to understand how we disable their weapons. "They won't figure it out," Lieutenant Sarah O'Connor added from her station. The young quantum mechanics specialist had helped design the dimensional dampeners that had neutralized the Meridian's offensive capabilities. They're still thinking in terms of conventional quantum mechanics. They don't even understand that they're operating in just 3 dimensions of probability space. Helena nodded, remembering the day humanity had discovered the true nature of reality. It was 2047 when Dr. Samantha Rivera's team at CERN detected the first evidence of parallel probability streams, what the public still thought of as dark matter. That discovery had changed everything. Within a decade, humanity had learned to manipulate the fabric of reality itself, folding space and time like origami. But they had also detected something else. Alien civilizations, hundreds of them, warring and conquering across the galaxy. The Meridian Empire was just one of many predatory species that saw less advanced civilizations as nothing more than resources to be consumed. "Show me the Aegis array," Helena commanded. The holographic display shifted, revealing thousands of satellites that appeared to be simple communication relays to anyone scanning them. In reality, each one was a node in humanity's dimensional defense grid, capable of generating localized reality distortions that could tear apart any hostile force. Dr. Zhang pulled up another overlay, this one showing the network of hidden lunar bases and autonomous defense platforms scattered throughout the solar system. "The Helios cannons are charged and ready. If the Meridians make any aggressive moves, we can disable their entire fleet without destroying them." "And the Orpheus Protocol?" Helena asked quietly. Sarah's expression grew serious. The Orpheus Protocol was humanity's ultimate deterrent, a weapon so powerful it could isolate an entire star system from the rest of reality, trapping it in a pocket universe from which there was no escape. "Ready, but God help us if we ever need to use it." Helena turned her attention to a different display, this one showing various human cities across the globe. To maintain the illusion of a developing civilization, Humanity had deliberately kept certain technologies hidden from public view. The fossil fuel plants, the internal combustion engines, the primitive space programs, all carefully maintained facades hiding quantum reactors and dimensional drives. "What's the status of the civilian population?" she asked. "Blissfully unaware," Dr. John replied. "The dimensional dampers are keeping all signs of the Meridian fleet hidden from conventional detection. As far as the public knows, it's just another ordinary day." Helena allowed herself a small smile. For centuries, humanity had played the long game, presenting themselves as an easy target while secretly preparing for this inevitable confrontation. The public knew nothing of the Earth Defense Force or the true state of human technology. They went about their lives believing they were alone in the universe, never suspecting that their world was protected by defenses that would make most galactic empires tremble. A soft chime indicated an incoming transmission. "Admiral," Lieutenant O'Connor announced, "we're detecting quantum communication signals from the Meridian fleet. They're requesting a direct dialogue with Earth's leadership." "Interesting," Helena mused. "They've realized their standard protocols won't work here." Analysis. Dr. John consulted his neural interface. Their energy signatures suggest they've powered down their quantum cores completely, a gesture of non-aggression in their culture. "They're scared, Admiral. Everything they thought they knew about technological progression has just been upended." Helena straightened her uniform, though she knew the Meridians would be seeing her as a hologram. "Put them through. It's time they learned exactly what they're dealing with." As the communication channel opened, Helena reflected on the irony of the situation. The Meridians had come expecting to find a primitive civilization ripe for conquest. Instead, they had stumbled into humanity's web, a web that had been centuries in the making, designed not just to defend Earth, but to fundamentally change the balance of power in the galaxy. The holographic form of Supreme Commander Nixis materialized in the command center, her crystalline exoskeleton dimmed in what Helena's cinecultural database identified as a posture of submission. The game of deception was over. Now came the real challenge, showing the galaxy that humanity was no longer content to hide in the shadows. Operation Honeypot. Supreme Commander Nixis' holographic form flickered in the command center, her crystalline structure reflecting light in patterns that indicated extreme distress. "Admiral Chen," she began, her translated thoughts carrying undertones of confusion and fear, "our historical records span 50,000 years. We have encountered and subjugated hundreds of species. Never have we seen technology like this." "That was by design," Helena replied calmly. Behind her, the quantum displays showed the Meridian fleet's every movement, every energy fluctuation, every attempted scan of Earth's defenses. "Your empire judges civilizations by their visible technology. We learned long ago that true power lies in what remains hidden." The alien commander's 6 eyes shifted, taking in the command center's holographic displays. "The dimensional manipulations we detected, they defy our understanding of physics. Your species should be millennia away from such achievements." Dr. Zhang stepped forward, his neural interface projecting relevant data streams. "Commander, what you call physics is just the surface of reality. Your quantum technology is impressive, but it only scratches at the first layer of what's possible. We discovered that the universe has depth, not just dimension." The displays around them shifted, showing visualizations of probability space, reality not as a single timeline, but as an ocean of possibilities, each quantum state existing simultaneously until observed. The Meridian's most advanced technology looked primitive compared to humanity's understanding of these deeper layers of existence. "Your observation posts in the Kuiper Belt," Nixis said, her thought patterns becoming more organized as she processed the information. "We detected them 6 months ago, but dismissed them as primitive asteroid mining operations." Lieutenant O'Connor allowed herself a small smile. "Those mining operations are actually dimensional anchors. They're part of what we call the Honeypot Protocol, a system designed to attract and contain potential threats to Earth. Every scan you performed, every probe you sent, was carefully monitored and allowed to see exactly what we wanted you to see. Helena watched as understanding dawned in the alien commander's posture. Your entire fleet, she explained, has been operating within a carefully constructed dimensional pocket since you entered the solar system. If you had attempted to attack, you would have found your weapons firing into a void, your ships trapped in a maze of folded spacetime. The holographic displays shifted again, revealing the true extent of Earth's defenses. What had appeared to be simple satellites transformed, their hidden dimensional technologies becoming visible. The moon's surface rippled as concealed bases revealed themselves. Massive structures phased into existence throughout the solar system, each one a testament to humanity's mastery over reality itself. By all our measures, Nixis said, her thoughts carrying a mix of awe and resignation, your civilization should be primitive. Your visible infrastructure, your energy emissions, your social structure, all carefully maintained deceptions, Dr. Zhang interjected. We learned of the galaxy's true nature centuries ago, when we first detected quantum wake signatures from passing ships. Instead of announcing our presence, we chose to watch and prepare. Every war your empire fought, every technology you developed, we studied and surpassed in secret. Helena stepped closer to the alien commander's hologram. We're revealing this to you now because the galaxy is changing. The age of empires consuming lesser civilizations must end. Earth is prepared to emerge onto the galactic stage, but not as another conquest. We will be the defenders of those you consider prey. Suddenly, alarms blared through the command center. Lieutenant O'Connor's hands flew over her console. Admiral, we're detecting quantum surge signatures from the Meridian Fleet. They're attempting to power up their weapons. Helena's expression hardened. It seems some of your ship's commanders haven't accepted the reality of their situation, Supreme Commander. What happened next would be seared into Nixis's memory forever. With casual gestures, the humans activated their defensive grid. Reality itself seemed to twist around the Meridian ships that had powered up their weapons. Space folded in impossible ways, and when it unfolded, those ships found themselves transmuted into perfect, harmless spheres of inert matter. That, Helena said quietly, was a demonstration using less than 1% of a single defensive node's power. The ship's crews are unharmed, merely in suspended animation. They can be restored, but that decision rests with you, Supreme Commander. Nix's hologram trembled. The message was clear. Humanity had been holding back, showing only a fraction of their true capabilities. They could have destroyed the entire Meridian Fleet at any moment, but chose instead to demonstrate their power with precision and mercy. The choice before you is simple, Helena continued. Return to your empire with proof of what you've encountered here. Tell them that Earth is not only protected but stands ready to protect others. The age of predatory expansion is over, or, she gestured at the transformed ships, we can demonstrate our capabilities more thoroughly. In that moment, Supreme Commander Nixis understood that she wasn't participating in a negotiation. She was receiving new laws of reality, laws written by a species that had transcended conventional physics and had chosen to use that power not for conquest, but for protection. The galaxy was about to change, and the Meridian Empire would either adapt or face extinction at the hands of those they had mistaken for prey. The tables turn. In the hours following humanity's demonstration of power, the solar system hummed with activity invisible to conventional sensors. Supreme Commander Nixis had retreated to her remaining operational ships to confer with her command staff, while Earth's defense grid maintained its vigilant watch over the Meridian Fleet. They're transmitting large data packets back to their empire, Lieutenant O'Connor reported, her neural interface processing the quantum communications, multiple frequencies, heavily encrypted. They're trying to warn their homeworld. Admiral Chen nodded, studying the tactical display. Let them. Every transmission they send carries embedded markers from our dimensional grid. By the time those messages reach the Meridian capital, we'll have mapped their entire communication network. Dr. Zhang's fingers danced through the holographic interface as he analyzed the data streams. The transformed ships are stable. The crews are perfectly preserved in quantum stasis. They're experiencing this as a single moment of time. We can reverse the process whenever you give the word, Admiral. Not yet, Helena replied. Let's see how Supreme Commander Nixis handles this situation first. The command center's ambient lighting shifted as a priority alert came through. Admiral, Sarah announced, we're detecting dimensional distortions at the edge of the solar system. 3 Meridian dreadnoughts just emerged from slip space, response ships from their empire. Helena allowed herself a small smile. Right on schedule. They're following standard Imperial protocol, sending reinforcements at the first sign of resistance. She turned to Dr. Zhang. Status of the Aegis array. Ready, he confirmed. The dimensional pocket is already expanding to contain the new arrivals. They'll see exactly what we want them to see. The holographic display showed the massive dreadnoughts, each one nearly twice the size of Nixis's flagship. Their quantum cores pulsed with enough power to shatter planets, but within Earth's defensive grid, they were as threatening as children's toys. Incoming transmission, Sarah reported. It's Supreme Commander Nixis. The alien leader's hologram materialized once again, but her posture had changed. The previous submission was replaced with something closer to resignation mixed with curiosity. Admiral Chen, she began, the Imperial High Command has received our reports. They wish to open formal diplomatic channels. Of course they do, Helena replied calmly. Those dreadnoughts they just sent. In any other situation, they would be preparing to reduce this system to atoms. But they've seen what happened to your attack force, and now they're beginning to understand. Nix's crystalline structure shifted in what the xenocultural database identified as agreement. You must understand, Admiral, this changes everything. The fundamental principles upon which our empire was built need to evolve. Helena finished. Your civilization has spent 50,000 years being the apex predator of the galaxy. Now you've discovered that there are depths to reality you never imagined, and your choice is simple: adapt or become obsolete. The tactical display suddenly lit up with new data as the 3 dreadnoughts attempted to power up their weapon systems. Before any of the Meridian commanders could react, space itself seemed to ripple around their ships. When reality settled again, the massive vessels had been transformed just like their predecessors, perfect spheres of suspended time and transmuted matter. That, Helena said to Nixis, was for the benefit of your high command, who I know is watching this transmission. Humanity is not interested in conquest or destruction. We have remained hidden not out of weakness, but because we were waiting to see if the galaxy's civilizations could learn to coexist without our intervention. We've waited long enough. Dr. Zhang stepped forward, pulling up displays showing hundreds of other alien civilizations. We've been monitoring all of them. Supreme Commander, every species your empire has conquered, every civilization you've stripped of resources, we can restore them. We can undo the damage, or your empire can change. Helena continued. You can become part of the solution. Every ship in your fleet carries quantum cores that could be modified to provide endless clean energy to developing worlds. Your terraforming technology could restore devastated ecosystems. Your empire's vast knowledge could be used to elevate civilizations rather than subjugate them. Nixis was silent for a long moment, her 6 eyes taking in the displays showing Earth's monitoring of countless worlds. And if we refuse, then we'll do it without you, Helena replied simply. And your empire will find itself increasingly isolated as humanity begins implementing these changes across the galaxy. The choice is yours, but know this: the age of predation is over. Whether you join us in building something better or fade into obsolescence is up to you. The command center fell silent as Nixis processed this ultimatum. Through the quantum communications network, they could detect the furious debates taking place among the Meridian leadership. Earth had not just defeated their fleet, they had challenged the very foundations of their civilization. The High Command, Nixis finally said, her thought patterns showing complex emotional overtones, requests a formal delegation be allowed to visit Earth. They'd wish to learn. Helena nodded. Granted. And as a show of good faith, she gestured to Dr. Zhang, who initiated the restoration process on one of the transformed ships. The assembled aliens watched in awe as the perfect sphere unwound itself, reality reshaping until the original vessel and its crew were restored. Consider that a demonstration of our intentions, Helena said. We can destroy, but we prefer to restore. We can conquer, but we choose to elevate. The galaxy stands at a crossroads. Supreme Commander, the question is, will your empire help us build the future, or will you cling to a past that can no longer exist? A new dawn. 1 month after the confrontation with the Meridian Fleet, Admiral Helena Chen stood in Earth's first public quantum observatory, watching holographic displays track the changes already spreading across the galaxy. Behind her, Dr. Zhang and Lieutenant O'Connor were briefing a mixed group of human and Meridian scientists on the principles of dimensional engineering. The quantum core modifications are proceeding ahead of schedule, Sarah reported, her neural interface processing streams of data from across former Meridian space. 300 colonies have already been converted to clean energy production. The environmental restoration projects are showing promising results. Helena nodded, studying the visualization of a formerly devastated world where Meridian terraforming technology, enhanced by human dimensional science, was rapidly restoring ecosystems. The Empire's weapons of war were being transformed into tools of renewal. Admiral, a familiar crystalline form approached. Supreme Commander Nixis, now serving as the chief liaison between Earth and the Meridian Empire. The High Command has approved the dissolution of the last detention colonies. All subjugated species are being granted full autonomy and technological assistance. And how are they handling the transition? Helena asked, though her dimensional sensors had already shown her the answer. Across the galaxy, civilizations that had lived under Meridian dominion for generations were taking their first steps into a new era. Better than we expected, Nixis admitted, her thought patterns showing genuine amazement. Many of our former subjects are proving to be brilliant innovators once given access to education and resources. A group of Centaurians has already developed improvements to our quantum communication systems. Dr. Zhang joined them, his neural interface projecting data from the latest technological exchange programs. It's fascinating how quickly the galaxy is adapting. The Meridian Empire spent millennia spreading through space, but in just 1 month, we've seen more positive change than in all that time. The main display shifted to show the location that had once been the Imperial Palace on the Meridian homeworld. It was now the site of the Galactic Cooperation Initiative, where representatives from hundreds of species work together to guide the Great Transition. There are still those who resist, Nixis noted, her crystalline structure dimming slightly. Several Outer Fleet commanders refuse to accept the changes. They've gone rogue, threatening to maintain the old ways by force. We know, Helena replied calmly. Earth's dimensional grid now extends throughout known space. They'll find their weapons transformed into agricultural tools, their warships into medical facilities. We're giving them the chance to choose a better path, just as your High Command did. Sarah's console chimed with a priority alert. Admiral, we're detecting quantum wake signatures from beyond the galactic rim. Non-Meridian origin. The observatory's displays shifted, showing massive objects approaching from intergalactic space. Ah, Helena smiled. Right on schedule. It seems our activities have attracted attention from the Andromeda galaxy. More hostile forces? Nixis asked, her defensive instincts flaring. No, Helena replied. Something far more interesting. When humanity first developed dimensional sensors, we detected evidence of other civilizations that had chosen the same path we did. Species that had hidden their true capabilities, waiting and watching. What you're seeing are our counterparts from Andromeda, finally reaching out now that we've shown ourselves. The observatory erupted with activity as the incoming vessels revealed themselves. They were unlike anything the Meridians had ever seen, operating on principles that made even Earth's technology seem primitive in comparison. All this time, Dr. Zhang marveled. We thought we were alone in our approach. But across other galaxies, there were others like us. Helena finished. Civilizations that chose wisdom over conquest, patience over power. They'd been maintaining their own networks of protection, just as we have. And now it's time for all of us to work together openly. A new voice joined the conversation. A holographic figure materialized, distinctly non-human, yet carrying itself with familiar wisdom. I am Observer Zarna of the Androndan Conclave. We've been watching your handling of the Meridian situation with great interest, Admiral Chen. Your species shows considerable promise. Helena inclined her head respectfully. We had good teachers, even if we didn't know we were being taught. The glimpses we caught of your work in Andromeda helped guide our own development. Around them, the displays showed more vessels emerging from dimensional space, representatives from dozens of hidden civilizations across multiple galaxies, species that had evolved beyond the need for conquest, who had spent millennia quietly guiding and protecting younger races. The Age of Shadows is ending, Observer Zarna announced. The time has come for the hidden guardians to reveal themselves. Earth's actions here have proven that this galaxy is ready for the next step. Supreme Commander Nixis, watching these revelations unfold, finally understood the true scope of what her empire had stumbled into. They hadn't simply encountered a superior civilization in humanity. They had unwittingly triggered a transformation that would reshape the entire cosmic order. And what is this next step? She asked, her thought patterns betraying both fear and hope. Helena smiled as the observatory's displays expanded to show thousands of galaxies, each harboring its own hidden protectors. Something your empire never imagined in all its millennia of conquest. Commander, we're going to build something new together. Not an empire, but a community of galaxies. And thanks to your people's willingness to change, the Meridians will help lead the way. As if to emphasize her words, the first light of dawn broke over Earth's horizon, casting golden rays through the observatory's quantum crystalline windows. It was a new day, not just for humanity or the Meridian Empire, but for all of known space. The age of predation and conquest was over. The age of cooperation and protection had begun. And somewhere in the vast depths of space-time, other civilizations were watching, waiting for their own moment to emerge from the shadows and join the grand project of building a better universe, one where power served wisdom and strength protected peace.